Maybe the hardest thing about living in this village not far from Chapel Hill is learning how to pronounce the name.
A lot of people call it Saxapahaw, some people call it Saxapahaw, some people don't hear the difference between those two.
Saxapahaw. You drop the middle A and emphasize the first sax.
This village has been created over the past 20 years. It was a textile mill that was already facing challenges when a tornado finished it off in 1994.
That ended 150 years of Saxapahaw being a mill village.
In many cases, when mills have closed, the buildings were torn down.
I feel so sad when old buildings come down rather than get renovated because of the history in them and the stories behind them.
The two main buildings here, though, were preserved.
It really is miraculous that this renovation did, in fact, happen.
The idea from the beginning was to turn this place into a mixture of housing and commercial spaces. It happened just as planned.
Fortunately, the right folks came at the right time.
The interior of the dye house was turned into the Haw River Ballroom.
At some point we decided that it needed to be the Haw River Ballroom, and it became that overnight, and we're thrilled.
About 10 or 15 shops and restaurants also now exist, and for the first time, residential space is for sale.
The condos are the first piece that can be sold and where permanent residents can establish themselves here.
When the mill was running, there was one business. Now there are many.
To us, that's more sustainable, and it's just more vibrant.
Those who were here were attracted by the possibility of reclaiming a bit of the past while forging a better future.
It's kind of like nostalgia and Renaissance have collided and made Saxapahaw.
The result has been the creation of a village that is much like those that were more common years ago.
Every one of us was looking for the ideal of bringing a community back to a center.
Many jobs were lost when the mill closed, and that was devastating. But the village of Saxapahaw survived and became something positive once more.
People remember when it was really alive and there were so many more people employed here. But if it can't be that, then I'm glad that it's this.
I'm Richard Green, taking you around Carolina.